Hello, and thank you for visiting my channel. Today I just want to go over how to troubleshoot a VPN on a FortiGate Firewall. As you can see on the screen, the setup is very simple. Two firewalls across the internet trying to establish a VPN, so PC A can communicate with PC B. So we have both firewalls here side by side. There's nothing to the configuration. Everything pretty much is default besides obviously the IPs and the VPN that was configured using the IPsec wizard FortiGate provides. So as you can see, both VPNs on both sides are down. There's no activity at the moment. If we try to establish traffic and send traffic from PC A to PC B, this should bring the VPN up. And there we go. The ping is working and successful. That means the VPN is up. If we go to monitor IPsec monitor, we see the VPN is actually up. And now there was some traffic over it. If we refresh the page for firewall B, you will see that also the VPN now is up. So now let's just break stuff. I'm going to first change the pre-share key on firewall B. Currently, the pre-share key is something very simple. It's FortiGate. But I'm going to change the capital G for a lowercase g. We're going to accept those changes and see what happens now. So the best way to troubleshoot a VPN is directly on the CLI. We have a couple of debugs. So what I like to do is I like to start with a diagnose VPN IKey log filter clear. That way I can clear any filters that I have for previous troubleshooting, especially important on production environment. And now I'm going to limit that to the peer IP of the remote host that I'm interested on, which in this case is 45.83.200.6. And now we're going to start with a diagnose debug application IKey -1. So if we retry that previous ping, now it's not working. And we see some activity on the firewall. So let me stop this with the diagnose debug reset. And we were very lucky, and the message that we were looking is right here in our face. There was a parse error, and the firewall is already telling us that it's a potential pre-share key mismatch. So now we just need to figure out which side is wrong or retype them, and that should fix the problem. So let me fix that, and I'm going to break something else. And now we are going to accept that. And then for the phase 1 proposal, we're going to change the encryption and authentication algorithm. Right now for authentication is using MD5. We're going to just change that to SHA-256. So now that's changed. Let's start the debug again. And oh, there we go. That was easy. So let me stop the debug again. Reset. And let's see what happens. So again, luckily as we see the error right there. There was a negotiation error, but now we need to determine why. So if we scroll up a little bit, we see there was an incoming proposal from Firewall B with the following settings. Right now, what we care is that it's using, for encryption, is using DES, and for authentication, is using SHA-256. So the firewall has to match those settings that it's receiving with any of the proposals configured on its end. So right here, the firewall A, it says my proposals, and it's going to list all the proposals he has available to see if he finds a match. Remember that we are looking for DES and SHA-256. So the first proposal is DES, MD5. No, that doesn't work. Then we have DES and SHA. That doesn't work. We're kind of sure because we're looking for DES and SHA-256. The last one is Des and Sha again, but the group that is using is different, so that doesn't work either. And that's why we're getting the negotiation error, negotiation failure, and that's why the VPN is not getting established. So let's fix that and break something else. Now I'm going to do the same type of change, but instead of phase 1 proposal, I'm going to do that change for the phase 2 proposal. And this one is interesting because the debug will look different if the firewall B is the one trying to initiate or if it is firewall A, the one trying to start the VPN. So I'll show both cases. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to change the authentication from MD5 to SHA-256. So let's start the debug again. Let's go to firewall B and try to establish the VPN. So we're going to try to ring it up. And remember, this time phase 2 has a proposal mismatch. So let me stop this and let's see what happened. So as you can see, it's very, very similar. That's what I was looking before. The firewall is going to try to match their proposals with the incoming proposal. And now again, we're getting a negotiation failure as before. Now, there's one important, actually two, in this case, difference. Now, this one, it says IPsec SA error. That is indicating it's phase 2. And also, if we scroll up a little bit, when the proposals are being listed, it's looking a match for phase 2. So that way we can identify these proposals are failing on phase 2 versus on phase 1 it says ASIC-KMP SA error, which is different from the IPsec that we are getting right now, right here. That's one of the differences that we can identify. So we can tell if it is failing on phase 1 or phase 2. Now, let's see what happens if firewall A is the one trying to establish the VPN. So I'm going to generate some, traffic from that side. There's going to be activity. If you see the activity, we are not seeing all the proposals being listed in this case. And that's because we are just sending the negotiation to firewall B. Reset. Perfect. Let me stop the ping as well. So in this case, we are not seeing the proposals being listed because we are not trying to match them. It's the remote site. But we can see that we got a message received. That means firewall B is notifying us that there was no proposal chosen. This means that firewall B did not find a match for the proposal on phase 2. And again, that will indicate what was the problem there. So now if we fix that again, MD5, we save that and let's reattempt the ping, and this time it should work because all the values are fixed again. There you go. It took a little bit. That was probably the VPN being negotiated, but now everything is working again. So I hope that this video helped you guys to determine where the VPN may be failing, and once it is identified, it is easier to address the problem. So thanks for watching.